Hi everyone, Victor is here. Let's go through this sketchbook I bought a few months ago. Let's start with the end of the sketchbook because I started it from the end, just testing out some of my materials. For example, India ink, some other inks, Noodler's ink, Rotring ink, fine liners, micron ink, colored pencils. The sketchbook has the hard cover with rounded corners, which is nice. Also, it has this rubber band which keeps the sketchbook closed when you carry around in your backpack or purse. The pages are straight corners, they're not rounded. At the end of the sketchbook we've got here foldable pocket, which I find very useful to keep some ephemera or other things like this. I kept this one from the original packaging because I've got here information and I keep referring later. Also, I keep the price tag just to know what is the value of some sketchbook at some point time. So this sketchbook is made of quite thin paper, 96 GSM. 96 GSM is quite a thin paper. It's a little bit heavier than printer offset paper, so it's quite thin. So what does recommend this sketchbook? So it says museum quality for an optimal conservation, paper doesn't degrade while aging, no optical brightening agents, so acid free for a better conservation, fine grain is ideal for quick sketching, pencil, charcoal, sanguine, excellent erasability. Yeah, it's what is expected of a good sketchbook, to have acid-free paper. What I noticed from the beginning is that the paper being so thin, some media can show through. So on the other side, if you have a look, you can see what is drawn on the other side. So this thing gets out of my comfort zone, but it's not a big issue. If you want to draw on a double page like this, this would be a problem. If you want to draw only on one side, it's okay. When I saw this sketchbook in an art store, and I noticed is it opens flat at any page. So this is an advantage. I am looking for such kind of sketchbooks that open flat, because when I want to photograph or scan my work, it helps me. So look at this sketchbook. Even if I don't use clip binders or anything, it opens, so it's just very nice like this. So this was the main advantage that I was looking. The color of paper is quite white compared to other sketchbooks that had a yellowish tone. For example, comparing a moleskin sketchbook, which has more yellowish tone, the Canson sketchbook has a bright white color, which in some cases is very nice if you use black and white media. There is a high contrast between the black and this bright white, and also if you scan this work you can enhance this contrast. So I started this Canson sketchbook from the end, just to release some pressure of starting a new sketchbook and the fear of ruining a brand new sketchbook. Here is an abstract drawing I did with fine liners. Here is a graphite pencil drawing. At the end of drawing, I fixed this drawing with art fixative spray, because otherwise it will smudge on the other side. Even though I fixed it, when I drew on this page, I pressed hard on this one, and even I fixed this one, there are some marks, as you can see, that even with fixative they are shown through. What I noticed that this paper is indeed of good quality and holds very well the fixative. The fixative being wet, it might have buckled the paper, might have ruined it, or make it yellowish, like in other cases. But it holds very well the fixative. Next one, what I can say about this page, that I put a lot of stress on this page. So I used charcoal pencils. I rubbed this. I used eraser. So I did many modifications. So even though the paper is thin, it's quite sturdy. So it was very good surprise to see that it hold such much pressure. So at the end here I also used fixative spray, because charcoal, even more than graphite pencil, would smudge on the other side. On this page I drew this decorative abstract pattern with a brush pen, and what I noticed it's that on the other side it can't be seen. It's shown through, but not very hard. This is might be an issue if on the other side you have a drawing and you want to scan this model will see through. Other drawings that I did here with a fine liner, it's very straightforward. The paper has a small grain, so it allows also drawing with a fine liner and a fountain pen. On this page I drew with fine liner and the colored pencils. Also here being a solid color, if you can see on the other page, it's shown through. So I think this is the only issue if you want to scan or to photograph your work. If it's just for practicing, it's ideal. For this one I used fine liner and colored pencils, brush pen and colored pencils. For this double spread page I drew with this fountain pen. This is bent nib Duke fountain pen with Noodler's ink. It is waterproof ink, yet it dries quite slowly. You need to wait a bit for the ink to dry. So for the shading, I used a water-based marker, like this Tombow marker. It has this brush tip, and on the other side is a smaller thin tip. So with the brush pen of water-based, the color doesn't show through. So as you can see, it's very clean on the other side. It's shown a bit, but not so concerning. This one I used a fountain pen, some doodles, here some cartoons. So after drawing from the end, I got some courage to start the sketchbook from the beginning. Now here I doodled some figure drawings with fine liner and fountain pen. Here are some other doodles. So it's very convenient to draw with a pen, just not to use wet media. I think with watercolor this paper will not stand. For pencil, it's just fine, brush pen. Here is a thick bold drawing with brush pen. Here some sketches with graphite pencils. Here also graphite pencil. I fixed this one with fixative, art spray fixative. So I tried to draw only on one side because I didn't want to show through on the other page, because as you can see the paper is very thin. I found this paper also is very convenient for colored pencils. For colored pencils I also use fixative to fix it, to not smudge on the other side. Here some other graphite pencil drawings, cross hatching. Let's see on the other side, it's okay. Fine liner. On the next pages I drew with my fountain pen and colored pencils. So this is LAMY Safari with M nib, medium size nib. Earlier I wanted to draw only with waterproof ink, but I discovered that if I don't intend to use watercolor, there is no point to draw with waterproof ink. So I started using these cartridges from LAMY. They last quite a lot of drawings. They come in different colors. This is black color. I'm using colored pencils from Faber and Castell. They are vibrant and very saturated. They have soft lid compared to other colored pencils, and it's very nice to color them. They come in very many colors. Here I chose some colors that I would use in urban sketching and sketching natural environment. On this page I drew only with colored pencils. After that I fixed this with spray. This one is LAMY Safari ink and the colored pencil. Here also is with fountain pen, LAMY Safari. Here again, fountain pen, colored pencils. Also, colored pencils. Here I used only Payne's Gray colored pencil for shading. Fountain pen and colored pencils. Here also fountain pen and colored pencils. To conclude this review, I think this sketchbook is suitable for pencil, colored pencils, charcoal, and also with ink, with limited applications. All in all, it's a good sketchbook, and depending on what you want to do with it, I think it will fit in your sketching kit. Thank you for watching. Bye.